Alright folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poem Mass video. So today let's talk a bit about I guess if we have to SSN and Black Kyurem, right? Which is coming out tonight as usual. I will be unfortunately pulling for him live. He's okay, he's not that bad. Okay. Making it like this is like, you know, the worst, you know, thing that's happened in the game since like I don't even know. Stamina. But no. Well, stamina's not that bad either, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, we'll be pulling for him live, so stay tuned, I guess. It is a poke fair, so we will be attempting to pull for many copies, right? So, anyways, as for the unit itself, look, man, if you're just a big fan of the character, if you like the outfit, if you like the Pokemon, you know, pull for it, right? You don't have to worry about how good or bad the unit is. If it's your favorite, just go for it, man. As long as you have the gems. Always only pull when you have, or you're certain that you will have, right? 36.6k gems before the banner leaves, just so you don't, you know, waste your gems if you know, get shafted, right? So, yeah, as for the unit itself, we can still talk a bit about it. Look, this unit is not, like, completely worthless, right? It's just surprising for a villain, like a main villain arc character that's like a, you know, Pokefair main villain arc character, and then you look at like SS Hilda and then SS Hilbert, and those two are absolutely crazy units, and then boom, you like get this guy, because like he's kind of like the SS Steven of like the Unova villain arc, right? Because SS Steven dropped in the second half of the Hoenn villain arc, right? And SS Steven was like crazy, right? You know, arguably best unit in the game. And then like he came in like the same spot as SS Steven, and then like the drop, it's just so, it's puzzling. It's very puzzling. Anyways, let's go over the kit. Again, he's not completely worthless. He's still, I would say, it's a solid unit, right? There are things his kit has that are good, right? But he definitely has some like pretty big downsides too, so we'll talk about them all. Anyways, in terms of stats, I mean, first of all, he has good stats, right? Like 487 physical attack and, you know, 490 special attack is not bad. Not that you really, you know, it's just like Ice Beam for special, but still, right? 337 speed as well is not bad. You know, so it's good stats, I guess. The tanking stats, 661 HP, 179 on both defenses, is not that good, which is slightly weird because he is a bit of a, like, a lot of this guy's grid is trying to make him into a tank, which is very odd, but it does kind of help him, like, make him do relatively well in one specific role, which we'll talk about in a bit, right? But anyways, all right, so moving on to the moves. So first move, freeze shock. So this is the big issue with this unit, right? Again, there are upsides to freeze shock, mainly because it's a bit of like a gauge saving move, because it's like a 2-turn move, so like you only use like 4 gauges, and then yeah, you don't have to use any gauges for another turn because you can't use any other moves literally at all. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I mean, yeah, it saves you gauges, but yeah, there definitely are very not so great things about it. First of all, the base power is not that good, right? I mean, you'd say, 360, what the hell? What are you talking? 360 is a lot. It's a 4-gauge move, 2 turns, 360 base power, 2 turns is not good, right? Also has like 90% accuracy, which isn't an issue, the accuracy itself, but it's just weird that like, damn, lower accuracy moves, it's like trash base power. Plus it like takes 2 turns. I don't know, what are they doing with these 2-turn moves, man? Anyways, so yeah, outside of that, right, you have, so it gets ready to attack, and then uses move again, next turn leaves posture, 30% chance of paralyzing, oh, okay, it has a paralyzed thing, which, okay, that I guess explains a bit of the low base power. All right, so it has 30% chance to paralyze, can't do anything while you're charging this thing, right? which is pretty standard 2-turn move, I guess, with the extra ability to paralyze, and also the, you know, not very good base power. Although again, most 2-turn moves are kind of like that too, right? So there's that, and then Ice Beam, which is, you have like super duper effective 9 on Ice Beam, which is I guess something, but no, don't use Ice Beam, bro. It's not, it is not good. And then you have a buddy move too, right? Which makes it even more puzzling. How could they make a unit with a buddy move so underwhelming, right? Like, all the buddy move units so far have been like pretty freaking crazy, and they're just like, oh, he has buddy move, and he's like, he's just all right. So the B Noble Roar. So this one, activation condition is when the user gets ready to attack. So when you use Freeze Shock, which is very, very odd, because then you can't use Noble Roar until you're done using Freeze Shock. And then it lowers the opponent's attack and special attack and speed by 2, right? Gives you super duper effective up next, and then free move up next as well, and then physical move up next too. So yeah, that definitely helps the damage, right, with free shock, and then you debuff, you know, attack, special attack, speed, which is good. Like the overall stuff that you get in this B Noble Roar is nice. Just the activation conditions are it's not like terrible, like it's not hard to activate, right? So it's not hard to act. It's just in a very, very weird spot, right? Then your training move is 1 MP, attack, special attack +4, and then crit +3. And then your sync nuke is more attack is lower, the greater power of the attack. Clearly by himself you can't really get your max sync nuke, right, just with Noble Roar, because you could really only get 1 Noble Roar in like every sync cycle. Right? Maybe not even, right? So yeah, as for your passive, you have Piercing Blows, you know, which is Piercing Blows. 2 Prepared, which is their attempt at making 2-turn moves not as bad, which is you get like -2 sync move countdown. After leaving the getting ready to attack thing is successful. Grammar. But yeah, and then you have Hostile Environment 1. So you could sync in 2 turns with them, right? But it also just makes his overall rotation of moves is just really, really, really bad. It's just really, really bad. And probably one of the bigger issues with him, right? Probably one of the bigger issues with him is his damage is not good, man. It's for a unit in like what 2022, right? All right, even if you consider, you know, rebuff this and that, so you look at this chart and you're like, what? How is this not good? Because, you know, number 1 on the top of the list of the ice type damage dealers. 1, ice type damage dealers overall suck, right? I mean, the strongest ice type damage dealer is still pretty bad, right? Even if you remove zone and terrain and, you know, whatever from all the other types, right? It's still not very good. And again, do keep in mind, it's 2 turns. All right, it's 2 turns. Also, I think this is, yeah, this is a 5 out of 5 grid too, or 4 out of 5, I guess, with the extra peak readiness, which is another thing that really sucks with this guy. Even with 4 out of 5, right? Even with 4 out of 5, which gives you an extra physical move up next every time for freeze shock, right? Even with that at 4 out of 5, the damage is still not that good, right? Because, you know, what's half of that? What, 700k per turn? So you're doing like barely more than Hala damage? Barely more than Hala damage, bro. Hala, not a good DP, not a fantastic DPS, right? I don't think Hala's terrible, right? He's all right, but he's not fantastic, right? So it's like, oh, damn. and again, that's with the 4 out of 5. That is with the 4 out of 5 extra physical move up next. So that's the damage of 2 turns worth of moves with what the 2 of those Physical move up next, and some other multipliers. Let's see what's the grid for this specific. Okay, it's more so like sync stuff after, which by the way, also his sync, also not very great, right? It is the strongest, you know, ice nuke, right? But again, ice nukes also suck. Like previously, before Getz's got his EX, like before this month, the strongest ice nuke in the game was Candace at like 2.7 million, which is atrociously bad, and yeah, this is a 2022, you know, tech unit with a lot of multipliers, right? You have again demoralizing sync 6, that's 60%. Dirty sync, that's another 60%, right? You'd think it'd be like better, but it's just not, right? Which is so odd. This is such a odd unit. This is very, very odd unit. Yeah, but anyways, that's just you know, a lot of issues, right? The 2-turn move thing messes with your like your move rotations aren't that great. The damage is not that great either, right? The sync nuke is the best in ice type, but also not anything like fantastic. And this isn't something. Oh, wait till we get ice zone. Even with ice zone, right? Even with ice zone, it's nowhere close to, you know, some of the Pokefairs. We don't even have to talk about like Master Fairs that we've gotten recently. Just even like the Pokefairs we've been getting recently, right? Like even like what's some like recent Victor, for example, which was, you know, I think was that the last Pokefair before the Univar? Like Victor, which is a pretty, you know, it's a pretty forgettable Pokefair, I'd say overall. Victor is so much more powerful. Right? I mean, you got the really, really massive AoE, max move, right? DPS is much, much better too, right? It's I don't know, it's a very, very, very weird unit. Very, very, very weird unit. and not in the way of like, oh, weird, because it's so mysterious. I wonder how he's actually gonna be used. No. Just weird and like, why did they not make him like better, right? Because I mean, it's a pretty, you know, it's overall pretty hype character. It's like the main headline of part 2 of the Univille arc, all that stuff, right? I mean, it's a freaking legendary Pokemon, and also, you know, it should probably be bait for whatever potential Master Fair or whatever that's coming in, like, you know, December maybe. Again, no promises. It's just a guess. I made it up. Source, I made it up. But I don't know. Yeah. But like I mentioned, there's like one place that I do feel like he could be really nice in if you're into that stuff, which is like, if you like spending the time like resetting and, you know, this and that, and like soloing legendary arenas. You could be decent if you're just trying to like solo, which again, I generally don't really find the point. Like, at least duo. Right? It's not like you're ever going to use like all your like sync pairs to clear, you know, legendary gauntlet anyways. So, like, why solo? What's the point of, you know, doing it solo? Anyways, but yeah, that aside, he should be built decently for that at least, because again, first of all, freeze shock helps with the gauges a bit. For one, you also have the free move next on the B Noble Roar as well. That's also nice for that, and soloing legendary arenas. That's where the tank part comes in handy. All right, that's where, you know, all this like random like stuff that's like helping him tank for some reason. It's just gonna help you out, because, you know, I mean, it's solo, like your damage healer would have to also tank, right? So that would help. On top of, you know, debuffing the opponent's attacks, special attacks. So I mean, if there's one thing that I could definitely say would potentially be really, really nice for them, I would say, if you're into soloing legendary arenas, right, for gauntlet streaks, then he should be nice for that. he should be nice for that. So anyways, all right, let's go into the grid, right? How many copies you should probably aim for either pulling or candying, right? So at 1 out of 5, he has nothing, right? He really does not have nothing. Not have nothing. That's double negative. Doesn't have anything. Well, at least anything interesting, right? So at 2 out of 5, you do get the oh, never mind. It's not at 2 out of 5. Okay, at 2 out of 5, you also don't have you have Quick Cure, Natural Remedy, which again, if you're trying to use him to like solo legendary arenas, it's not gonna be enough, but it's part of the formula, I guess, for a tank. Against certain units, right? Like an Entei for the Quick Cure, or like I was about to say Tornadoes, but he's not soloing Tornadoes, let's be real. I don't know. Someone else who could like status the Cobalion, I don't know, right? On that like 10% poison jab. So yeah, 2 out of 5 also doesn't really give you anything either. 3 out of 5 you get a few of the sync stuff, right? So again, even though his sync numbers isn't like that big, right? It's still like the highest for like ice types. So there's that, I guess, right? So yeah, you can pick up, you know, there's demoralizing sync 6, dirty sync 6 here as well. Get your sync with power up nodes right over here. You do have Berserker, which, you know, if you don't want to bring an extra support, that could help you max out your physical attack as well. Piercing Gaze could be situationally useful. All this hail stuff sucks. Sync Damage Guard can help if you're trying to solo as well, right? I guess. You just have like a lot of random like tank stuff. Hostile Environment, that could help with you know, any gauntlet that needs status or paralysis specifically. Looking at Tornadoes. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it's paralysis. For a second, I thought it was freeze. No. You might have a chance against Tornadoes. You know what? That could be an interesting one. But yeah, anyways. Okay, next one. 4 out of 5 is the one you want to go for. 4 out of 5 is the one you want to go for. 4 out of 5 gives you peak readiness, which gives him an extra physical move up next, right? On, you know, when you're charging your freeze shock, right? This is the one you want to go for. That's an extra, again, an extra physical move up next is pretty, you know, it's pretty nice, right, in terms of multiplier wise. Yeah, it's 40% extra damage to your next freeze shock hit, which still isn't that good damage, but you know, if you think the damage is bad now, like imagine how, you know, bad the damage would be like without it. So I mean, I'm not saying it's a must 4 out of 5, but like 4 out of 5 is yeah, this is big, man. This is big. You also have Team Fast Track 9, which is nice, but I highly doubt you know, unless you're going for like a really weird like support utility-ish Black Kyurem, and then you go like all the way down here. Because again, most of your stuff is up here. You probably don't have enough energy to come down and pick this thing, but you know, if you ever do have a reason to pick that up, that's nice too. 5 out of 5, Soften Up is nice, I guess. Just helps with the RNG a bit. And this one is that yeah, the other tanking thing. So if you're trying to like solo gauntlets with him, that's the other tanking thing. So yeah, I don't think it's 5 out of 5 is really that big of a deal. His big ones are definitely 3 out of 5 and 4 out of 5, right? 3 out of 5 where he gets his nuke stuff. 4 out of 5 he gets some DPS stuff, right? So yeah, that's probably what you want to go for if you're trying to you know, utilize the most out of this unit in terms of copies and dupes and such, right? So anyways, that's for this one, I guess. As for the unit, in terms of a pull score, let's see, maybe a 6.8 out of 10. Again, the unit overall isn't fantastic. It's definitely, I don't think this is the best way to spend your gems. There's again SS Hilda that's up at the moment. There's SS Hilbert up. Both of them are incredible units. And like I mentioned before, I do have a feeling that they're going to probably drop something big in December. But again, if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. The banner would last until, you know, we know what's coming up in December, so I don't have to worry too much about that. If you're someone who's saying, well, I don't have any good ice types, I want a good, you know, Ice type. Well, sure, right? He is one of the better ice types, but again, all the ice types in this game are not that great, right? And if you really want one, I mean, between him and like Holiday Leon, which is probably rerunning next month, well, not even probably, almost certainly rerunning next month, Holiday Leon, right? Holiday Leon is probably a bit more versatile, right? Does more damage, and yeah, I mean, you could just run him in more, you know, situations like off type here and there, right? And does have the advantage of, you know, being single target over Leon, and also has the better nuke. But again, like, if you don't have like 4 out of 5 SSN, right? If you don't have 4 out of 5 SSN, there's, yeah, is it really like offensively, right? Is it really better than something like Hala, which is a spotlight, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's yeah, it's definitely not. And I don't think this is gonna be the, like, this is the end for, like, you know, ice type units. It's over. No more like ice type units are gonna suck forever now. No. There's gonna be better ice type units, right? I mean, again, next month is December, and that's like Christmas and all, so they might, you know, throw out a really good ice type unit next month, a new one, right? Maybe we'll get ISO next month, and hopefully, I mean, it's not a guarantee the zone units are gonna be like really good. I mean, we got, you know, Hesse-Ingo, and not that Hesse-Ingo is particularly bad. He just doesn't really work well with his teammates, but he's also probably one of the weakest zone units. But that aside, right? Yeah, if you really need ice type units, I really think there's probably, we'll get better ones, man. We'll get better ones, right? So really only summon if you like the character, I'd say, generally. If you really like SS, oh, another ice type unit that you could go for that is not bad and very worth your gems. Mr. SS Hilbert, right? Also can do ice type damage with the ice type, you know, ice rebuff as well. And yeah, SS Hilbert, who is also up right now, not only could give you ice type, give you bug type, fire type, water type, electric, very much more worthwhile unit to throw your gems at, I'd say, right? Which is why, again, I don't even think he's that bad. I don't even think SSN is as bad as some people might think he is, right? I think he's just an overall, like, solid Pokefair, right? What I see is probably it's probably on, like, the lower end in terms of what we've gotten, right, this year in terms of Pokefairs, but I mean, he's still usable, right? I mean, if you really, for some reason, need an ice type damage dealer, first of all, pull for SS Hilbert, but if for some reason, like, you're just you just hate Hilbert, you hate Genesect, you're just a hater, then okay, you know, you can use him, right? You can use him. Yeah. Again, there are advantages to this unit, which I've talked about earlier, right? I mean, if you're into soloing legendary arenas, you should be pretty decent for it. Not that I've tried it yet, but I mean, just looking at his kit, like, theoretically, he should be pretty nice, right? Well, obviously, the people who are interested in that would have to test it out once the unit comes out, but there's no guarantee. So if it turns out he can't solo anything, you know, don't blame me. I'm just guessing, all right? I'm just, from his kit, I think he could probably solo 1 or 2, right? I mean, at least Latios, bro. Like, also Latios is like weak to ice. Like, there's no way he can't at least solo Latios, which I know. Okay, 167 other units in the game can do that as well, but I can almost guarantee you he could at least solo Latios, maybe a few more. The other ones are maybe, but he could at least solo Latios, okay? Low bar, but he should be particularly effective against that. It's not even that bad, man. But yeah, it's a unit. It's definitely one of the Pokefairs of all time, right? Definitely one of the Pokefairs of all time. And if you're a big fan, go for it, right? Good luck if you are, right? And I hope you get it. I mean, I hope everyone who spends gems, you know, on the banner, as long as they have 36.6k ready, so you don't get shafted, get the unit. So good luck, guys, are pulling, and hopefully the story is good. Because so far I feel like the story's kind of a bit flat, right? So hopefully you get some exciting stuff for the story as well. And good luck, guys, are pulling. At least the music, at least his music is good, right? That one's good. That one's coming back. That's gonna be nice. He's got a banger there. So fantastic stuff. All right. So anyways, that's really this one. I guess. Hope you all gentlemen, guys, think in the comments down below. Enjoy the videos for our channel. Some more about mouse content, all that stuff. Have fun. And I'll see you guys in the next one.